The MG Hector has been introduced in a mega unveiling ceremony here in Mumbai. And to tell me more about it, we have Rajeev Chaba, the MD of MG Motor India, talking to us. Rajeev, a big moment.
Oh, yeah.
I've been noticing you've been doing these really mega launches. I mean, even for the connectivity, it was like a car launch itself.
Right.
So is this whole build-up until the car hits the road part of the strategy of building the brand?
Yes, exactly. We are trying to create the momentum. Hormazd, probably you know best that there are a lot of naysayers in the market who never believed in MG brand and still they doubt. So the job is tough for us. So we are just trying to build the momentum and trying to unveil the features, technology and USPs of the car at a particular pace, and hopefully consumers start taking us slightly seriously. Still, I think it's going to be tough for us, but as we said, today we have unveiled and showcased the car to the consumers for the first time. Now we are going to start the bookings in first week of June, and the deliveries will start within few weeks of June. So that's the plan. Hope consumers really like it.
So I just want to pick up on what you said as naysayers. Obviously, what reads between the lines is there's a certain perception of the roots of the car. Let's be honest, it's SAIC owned, though it's a British brand. Yeah. Is this something that is just a perception you are trying to
not exactly that. I was not referring to that. My point is that, frankly, you know, our industry, that two big players, Maruti and Hyundai, they hold 70% of the market share. And most of the other players are there, but are they in top of the consumer's mind? I think that's a question mark, right? And only few guys have been successful in the country. So from that perspective, why should we be successful? Why should MG be successful? So that's what brings us to what are we going to offer unique, different, disruptive, which is relevant to the consumer. So in terms of our positioning, we are saying technology-wise, features-wise, innovation-wise, we probably are the best, and we are going to bring the best to the country for the first time. Also in terms of comfort and safety, we are going to provide safety features in such a way that even our base car is loaded. Base car is not a stripped down version. We are talking about performance, ride, handling, braking, fuel efficiency is going to be best in the segment. And then we are talking about some assurances also. So we have a plan. We may not execute 100% perfectly, but if we can do even 90% good execution of the plans what we have, I think consumers will like us.
So the sense I get is the aim is to go all out and win the trust of a skeptical customer.
Yes, and most of the Indian consumers are skeptics to start with, right? Especially in the automotive space. So it's not going to be easy. So I think the good part is we know why most of the brands are not doing well. We know the pattern of failure. And our team knows it's not going to be easy. So we are trying to, so it basically, suppose, let me say it this way, we know the question paper. Now how well we write the answers and how well we write that, that's the trick, and that's what we are trying to do.
So Rajeev, interesting that you've really acknowledged what the challenges are and you are addressing them in your own way. And obviously, from what I understand, having a little bit of humility is important in this market, especially with the dealer body, which I believe is, I think you've given them a lot that they've been looking for. So I just want to ask on your retail strategy, getting the dealers, what was the challenge? What did it really take to get the dealers that you've got? Because from what I understand, they've returned the LOI of some other OEM and come to you all. Some of them have.
So that way we have been lucky, but to be lucky, we had to be very clear in our philosophy and actions. So, and what we have done is that our philosophy about dealers or retailers is totally different. And again, we are talking about basics. As an example, we are saying we will have only less number of dealers and we'll grow with those dealers.
But wouldn't that limit your volumes?
So less number of dealers does not mean less number of touch points.
Right.
One dealer
Multiple
can give
networks.
me 5 touch points, 10 touch points, 5 showrooms, 10 workshops. So we are saying we'll start with good quality, less number of dealers. But then wouldn't you want
some competition between dealers, because if they have a monopoly in certain areas, that also...
See, the times have changed. Don't you have one single vendor for a part? Right. And again, you can think about how you need to have a fallback program and plan B and plan C. I think plan A has to work in most of the cases. Right. So when you can have one vendor for one part, exclusive vendor, so we have exclusive dealer for certain territories. So we are saying we'll start with these, let's say 50 dealers and 120 touch points. After 5 years, suppose we need 500 points, I hope we will not recruit more than another 10, 15, 20 dealers. We will not have 400 dealers for 500 points. So that's point number one. So basically we take care of their viability in this way, and also the MG brand image, because discounting doesn't happen. So the basic is less number of dealer, more points, and we grow with them. Second is, and this is going to be very different in our industry, and globally actually there's a problem about wholesale business. You know, you count your sale when you dispatch the car to the dealer. In our company, we are very clear, we will not talk wholesale at all. It's going to be retail, retail, retail. So, you know, so it means
that even the numbers you declare will be retail?
It's all going to be retail, whether it's our headquarters, whether it is SIAM, whether it is dealers.
But even SIAM normally takes wholesale numbers, but you are going to give retail.
So SIAM has to figure it out about our wholesale. We are not going to tell them wholesale. It's going to be retail, right? And then the third basic we are talking about is to the dealers that you take care of customer satisfaction, we take care of your viability. As simple as that.
Right.
You know, so I think from the customer's perspective, from the dealer's perspective, sorry, their KPI is going to be customer satisfaction. You know, less number of complaints, you can make more money. Execution.
Right. So, Rajeev, but I want to come to another issue that's troubling the industry, which is really beyond everyone's control, is we are seeing one of the worst slowdowns the industry has seen in a long time. You know, a lot of people are saying it's election uncertainty, market jitters, GDP not growing, but one view is that it's even become a little structural. Are people not as, you know, let's say, desiring cars as much as they were before? What is your take on this? And is this really going to be a challenge not only for you, but as of the industry as a whole, of really making cars, you know, as much of an aspiration as it was, let's say, 5 years back? Yeah.
So I'll say, actually your question is in two parts: structural change versus the slowdown at this point of time. Frankly, in my opinion, it's not a structural change. You know, when we talk about ride and sharing and those kind of mobility services, I don't think so it's going to reduce the numbers in a big way in our country, because it may go down in certain cities, but the other cities, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, will more than make it up. So it's not a structural change, but it's a slowdown for sure. So now this slowdown has happened because of many reasons: global reasons, local reasons, elections, and things like that. You know, and there are many issues, and I think all of us know about those issues. So this is a cyclical industry anyway, right? But this time I know April especially has been really very, very bad. One more thing I like to bet on, that when we are talking about transition from BS4 to BS6, the BS6 prices are going to be very high because of the technology, especially on diesel. So I think a lot of guys will like to go for BS4 cars because it's going to be quite reasonable to their purse. So I think Q4, in my opinion, is going to be a bumper year.
Right. Like a fire sale almost.
Whatever adjective you want to give, but I think a lot of guys will go for the deal because the BS6 prices will be high. So I feel by August, September, things will start changing.
Right. Last few questions, Rajeev. One is, I just want to talk about on investments. Now, obviously, you've come in at a time when you've seen the state of the industry. Have you kind of reviewed your forecasts, and with that effect kind of pruned your investment to meet that forecast? I mean, you obviously have that advantage because you've got one plant which is let's say 60,000 capacity right now, or I don't know if it's more, but clearly this is the opportunity to kind of, let's say, tailor make your investments depending on the forecast, which a lot of people are now revising and kind of downward revising.
I would say time will tell. We are gung-ho. We have not revised downwards anything. In fact, we have increased the pedal. Our capacity, by the way, is 80,000 units. We have purchased our own office in Delhi. We have invested in a flagship store there. 150 crores we have spent in the flagship store and office. So actually, as we speak, we are approving more programs.
But what happens after 80,000 units?
So just to come to that, so 4 cars we are going to launch in the next 18 months, Hormazd. 4 cars, 4 different cars. I'm not saying within Hector 7 or 8 seater. I'm talking about different car lines. Okay.
Right, so you just confirmed a 7-seater for Hector.
So yeah, I think I would like to say yes, 7-seater and 8-seater. Though you know, technically we can't call it 7 and 8 because of certain dimensions. But
you'll have a third row of seats.
Third row of seats. We'll have a third row of seats.
When can we expect that?
So that should happen with BS6.
Right.
You know, and the capacity is 80,000. And I think within few months of this launch, I think we will start thinking seriously and talking about it with headquarters about plant expansion. Hope we get lucky. Hope we get lucky, and we get some good response. Because I think before the end of this year, we need to decide on our manufacturing landscape.
Right. Okay. So obviously, very positive outlook that way.
So far, so good.
Right. And last question, Rajeev. You've had the launch of the Hector. You had a build-up with the launch on just the connectivity of the car. Your SIM embedded connectivity, the internet car as you call it, and just a launch around that. Sense one gets is you're building up the expectations of the brand pretty high. Are you nervous that you're building up to a high that the product now has to walk the talk? I mean, is that something that you're setting yourself a very high bar for the product by doing all this?
I don't know, nervous, but obviously there's anxiety, like before, as I said before, the examination paper, right? We have started from scratch, right? And build a team, with the plant, get the product right, a lot of changes in the product for Indian conditions, and now building the dealer network team, blah, blah, blah. So now we have reached this stage, right? Now the next is consumers' acceptance, and consumers still, there will be some skeptics who will say, okay, what about the quality, reliability, durability, resale price, and things like cost of ownership, spare parts availability. So as I said, we know the questions, right? So we are working towards that so that we can give a good consumer experience, right? I tell one thing to our team. When men especially meet in the evening in a party and they have their drinks, generally they talk about the car. My experience has been generally they bitch about bad experience at dealers or some quality issues. My vision would be and hope would be, this is what I tell dealers, during that drink discussion, they talk good about us. So that's what we are working on.
Well, that's a good ambition and strategy. Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
And that's it. We've been talking to Rajeev Chaba. So far, they haven't put a foot wrong, but finally, the proof of the pudding will be in the eating or the driving, and we're going to be driving the Hector soon next month.